Hello everybody and welcome to another live stream here on the Brit YouTube channel. Now for those of you who follow BlocksBricks who is joining me today, welcome on in BlocksBricks, who has just woken up, just in the nick of time. In fairness guys, it's not his fault. I kind of had a conversation in my head and made a plan in my head and scheduled a live stream with his face on it without actually telling him that he needed to be part of that until around an hour ago where I said, oh, by the way, you're on the, your face is on YouTube right now. Oh, so he's here. Welcome, BlocksBricks. But for those of you that that follow BlocksBricks.
On time, yes.
Huh?
I barely made it on time.
Yeah, but you know what? I was fully prepared to like go ahead and then you joined like an hour in, so fair enough. That's great. So, for those of you that follow BlocksBricks, this is actually the second day in a row that we are live streaming. Yesterday, we went through the LEGO Star Wars Visual Dictionary, the Character Encyclopedia, which features Emperor Palpatine, so we went through that. And today, kind of an unusual live stream, mainly because I don't actually have any LEGO right here to build. So, if you do want to donate and support that, I'd really quite like to get a microfighter or something to build up. Maybe that Plo Koon's microfighter or something. That might be really fun as a little build that would actually be able to work for a live stream here. So if you do want to support me, the donation link is in the description. But as I don't have stuff to build right now, I'm going to, and BlocksBricks is going to chat about the new LEGO Star Wars reveals. So we're basically going to go through, I'm going to share my screen, fingers crossed it works, and you should be able to see in a second LEGO Star Wars images. I'm going to use Brick Fanatics, so shout out to Brick Fanatics, the website. I'm going to go through their article and we'll look at them. Ed, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm halfway awake and halfway asleep, but
Yeah.
I have my coffee ready. And
Nice.
And a little snack as well here. I'm eating myself, I don't even know what you call them. I like these little butter cake flakes or whatever. Just a small snack.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Good to go.
I think I just heard a baby cry. I assume that's your one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He hasn't been wanting to go to sleep all morning, so Cynthia's been up since like 6 o'clock.
Oh no.
Yeah, and she's the night person, so she stays up most of the night feeding him.
Yeah.
And so she likes to sleep.
Yeah.
From like 8 to like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And she wakes up periodically, to get the bottles and everything done. But yeah, he's wide awake right now.
Yeah. No, I bet he is. I bet he is. Okay, what I'll do is I'll set a little donation goal, a fairly realistic, obviously, for that Plo Koon's microfighter. That'd be amazing, but obviously only up to people if they want to. So I'll pop the goal there. Okay, so let's dive in. Welcome, Fraser O'Neill, Gamer29, FlowBricks, Gamer20. Oh no, Fraser O'Neill is at his sister's wedding and still watching the live. That's dedication. I respect it. I respect it, and congratulations to your sister. Gamers is speaking of the Plo Koon's microfighter. I did the rebrickable model for a full-scale starfighter. Ooh, very cool. You have to put a picture of that on Instagram and we can take a look. Speaking of Instagram, oh my word. Last night, my Instagram was hacked. Essentially, very shortly after the live stream, I was just tidying things up and checked my phone, tried to log in, and it said, you've been logged out. And I thought, why am I logged out? So I thought, oh, it must be a glitch. I'll try logging in again. And it wouldn't let me log in. And then I went onto my emails, and it said, oh, your phone number has been removed from your Instagram account. Your email address has been changed to some random email. And I thought, oh, I just thought, no, that's it. I've been hacked. Thankfully, I had my two-step verification on or whatever so that I could override that before they deleted the account. There was like a solid 5 minutes where I thought my account had fully been deleted, as no one was able to access it at all in the moderators group. But thankfully, I was able to use my phone number, get it back, and take it off that person who took it. No clue who they are or where they are, but they tried taking my Instagram and tried to delete it, and I managed to get there literally with, like, if I'd just turned my phone off and gone to bed, I would have woken up this morning to a deleted account. It was only because I saw the email pop through and acted immediately that it was resolved. So, have you ever had something like that, Ed?
All I've had is with the duplicate account, somebody duplicating my account, but I've never actually had someone hack my account like that.
Yeah.
I did have that happen with, it wasn't my Instagram. Which one was it? I think it was like my Disney Plus account or something like that. They tried to hack and change the passcode or something like that. So yeah, I had to go through that ordeal, but I just kept thinking in my head, I'm like, did we go too far with the Snipes comments yet?
Snipes? What's the Snipes comments?
With King Richard or whatever, and
Oh,
the picture.
You mean King Charles?
King Charles, sorry.
Oh, yeah, and
Yes.
Snoke.
Snokes. Did I say Snipes?
You did, and I was very confused. I was like, who are we sniping? I don't remember.
Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe
the
the UK government were like, right, can't have this. Take him down. Take him down. Thankfully, it was essentially a joke that in the visual dictionary, Snoke's outfit looks very much like the king from his coronation, which was very funny. But no, thankfully my Instagram account is okay. Gamer says, I can't believe you're popular enough to get hacked. I don't know if it's popularity, but yeah, I was hacked, clearly. And I have changed my password and everything, and on pretty much everything.
It happens. People try to get into these accounts. I mean, I've heard it happen. I've never had anyone personally do it. Like I said, it happened to me on, I forget what, I'm pretty sure it was my Disney, but I could be wrong. But I had to go through the whole changing password and the verification. I had to call and make sure that that they had to verify that it was me.
Yeah.
I had to verify the charges and how much I pay and everything like that, just to make sure that they can access my account for me. Yeah, it was a headache for sure.
Yeah. Thankfully, I mean, I had to get my laptop out and do it on my laptop, but thankfully after like 5 minutes of panic, all was resolved, all is fine, so nobody needs to worry. Now, we are going to dive into the theme of today's stream, which you can see on the bottom there, which is Let's Talk LEGO Star Wars Summer 2025 sets.
Yeah.
So, we're basically going to look at the official images, as I said, from Brick Fanatics website, but obviously all of these have been officially revealed by LEGO. And we're just going to chat what we think about the set, and I'm going to ask you guys as well to put your thoughts in. This probably isn't going to be a particularly long live stream. I've got to go to church to have a band practice tonight, so I probably won't go for longer than around an hour, maybe an hour 15 tops. So Ed, you can have a bit of a break before your live stream, which I think is later. So I may be able to watch that. I don't know whether I'll still be awake. I don't know when that is. Do you know when that is, UK time, your live stream later?
It'll be around 8 o'clock your time. Yeah. So
Okay.
I believe you're 8 hours ahead, and I'm starting at 12 my time.
Yeah. Well, the time here is 5 to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, make sure you tune into BlocksBricks' live stream. If I can tune in or be there, I will. But I'll have to see how long the rehearsal and stuff takes. But I thought I may as well go live today. Even though I haven't got anything to build, we're just going to take a look at the sets. So...
BlocksBricks said he's never recovered his Fortnite account that got hacked.
Oh, unlucky.
That's not cool.
Okay, here we go. This is the Brick Fanatics website. Hopefully you can see the article there. I'm just going to see what it looks like on... Oh, we've got a very ugly looking StreamYard look to it. Where does this... Ah, I see. Right, let me make it bigger. Wait. No, it's shrinking again. Bear with me, guys, because I haven't actually done a screen sharing before, so it's because it says... Oh, it's sharing. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't need to... You don't need to tell me.
Chocolate also got his Discord hacked, blocked all his friends, and tried to hack them, so that was fun.
He blocked all his friends and tried to hack them?
No, he got hacked, and they blocked all his friends.
Oh, no, that's not fun.
And tried to hack their accounts as well.
Oh, no, that's not good. Okay. Right, I seem to have adjusted it somehow. Where are we? Is it like that? Oh, bear with me, everyone. Oh, sorry. You're gonna have to bear with me, guys. Oh, no, of course. This isn't gonna work. Okay, well, I didn't really think this through. We're gonna try it anyway. So, currently, we have a really lovely looking screen, but the minute I go onto the screen, it's gonna move, which is annoying. So, I don't actually know how to do that. It's because I'm not.
I see the white screen with the Jango Fett's Starfighter.
Yes.
UCF.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, when I change to that, it's going to now just show that on the live stream. So bear with me. I will just adjust it, and then we will look onto the first set. That's the way we're going to have to do it, because, Ed, you actually use StreamYard for your streams, which makes it slightly easier. I don't, so... there we go. Okay. So, let's take a look at our first set here, which is the Republic Juggernaut. Can we get that on there? Nice. Okay, so Republic Juggernaut is our first set of the day that we're going to take a look at. And I actually should really get on my phone the retail prices and info about these sets here so that we can properly dissect them. So we're going to talk about the Turbo Tank first. Guys, apologies that it's not going to be the most professional screen sharing you've ever seen. It's kind of like screen sharing on a Zoom call in lockdown, but that's what we're going with. So, if I go to... It's called the Republic Juggernaut, and some people have pointed out it's probably a good thing it wasn't called the Turbo Tank, because there's not much turbo in the tank.
Nothing turbo about it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the theme that LEGO's been doing, right? Like, they've been downscaling everything. Every set they've ever put out, they put out again, but in a scaled down version. And even I think you mentioned the last Starfighter that you did.
The U-Wing was the last one.
The U-Wing, yeah. That it was, the cockpit was small and you kind of, it's just not much playroom on the inside. I think it's going to be the same thing here.
Yeah.
You know what's turbo tank.
Well, you know what's interesting, and I thought this would actually be a really fun video if I ever do it again. But basically today my parents called me and they said, your birthday's coming up. If you guys don't know, I'm actually born on the 10th of August, which is the same day that LEGO was founded. It's almost as if I was meant to be in the LEGO Ambassador Network. Anyway.
10th of August.
Huh?
10th of August, right?
Yes. You didn't get my joke then, but that's fine.
Her birthday is just around the corner, around the 12th of July.
Oh, yours is?
No, Cynthia's.
Oh, Cynthia's. Yeah, I was going to say, like, your birthday's July. Oh, cool. So, my parents called me today and basically said, what sort of Lego would you like this year? Because they assumed I wanted Lego. And I said, well, I would like Lego, but the prices are crazy. I might just ask family members to give me money and then I can buy it on sale, rather than paying all the money on day one. And then I could probably get more out of the... the money that family members contribute is probably going to be the same regardless. So if I just get the money and then I can, in a few months' time, for example, put it towards some sets that are on sale rather than using all that money up straight away. I don't know what I'll do. That maybe we'll get through the whole thing and then maybe that will help me decide. But I showed them these pictures and their reactions were really interesting, actually. My mum thought some of the sets weren't overpriced, that everyone seems to think are. My dad thought this set looked particularly cool, and they also bashed K2SO massively. They both thought, no, this one doesn't... They said K2SO looks like a stick. And why would you pay £80? Stop being salty. I'm joking about it, Gamer 29. I'm joking. Yeah, Gamer 29... Not Gamer 29. K2SO... I don't know if there's a buildable Gamer 29 coming around anytime soon, but yeah, K2SO should be... I think one of the best sets in the way, but they were like, no, this is not a great set. So anyway, this is the Republic Juggernaut, guys, and the big story is downscaling, as Ed's just introduced us to. If I move along there, we can see it literally alongside a child, and it's small. I mean, they're deliberately showing marketing angles that make it look slightly larger than it is. That is the interior, which I think shows you sort of... So you can sit your Galactic Marines down. That is the bare minimum. I'm glad that that's true, because in the U-Wing, you had to actually lie your characters down. Like, they were sitting doing a crazy, like, hold in the, their cores must be crazy because they were sat like this. At least you can fit your Galactic Marines in there, but you can see Kia Di Mundi's standing because they've built in essentially a pit in the middle of the Clone Turbo Tank to stand him up. So you've got basically the middle of it is 2 seats here and then a pit where you can put him in to allow him to stand up. I think that shows it's too small when you're actually having to make a pit so that your characters can stand in. That's probably a sign that ever so slightly too small. Ed, what do you think about this set here?
Yeah, I mean, I like, obviously it's going to be my first not so turbo tank.
Yeah, same.
It's something that I want to pick up. The price is like, especially when you're talking about price per piece count, it's just, they're absurd. They're kind of absurd. I mean, I love Lego. I'm going to buy them still. But it makes me want to keep waiting for those sales, right? It doesn't really want me to go and be like, I'm going to go get that day one, even though I wasn't planning on getting it day one anyways, but it forces us to go outside of the Lego site, right? Because I like buying from Lego. I like getting the insider points. I
Yeah, me
like,
too. And they give with
being a loyal
purchases.
insider and stuff like that. And I love collecting the points. But at the same time, like, money's money, and I don't know if Lego knows this, but not everyone's made of money. And we're trying to, budget here.
Mm.
But it seems like they're being a little harsh on the Star Wars community right now,
Yeah.
knowing that we've all been wanting a turbo tank for some time now. I mean, but it looks great. It looks great. It might be a little compromised on the inside, but it looks great, and I for sure love the minifigures. I'm excited more for the minifigures, I think, than anything. But like I said, it's just kind of forcing us to want to wait for the sales.
Yeah.
So which I'm sure are gonna come. So.
Yeah, I think, I guess, and I said this to my parents as well, back in 2021, 2022, I was very much like, I've got to go to the Lego store on day one and get this. And I'm at home for the summer, so it's possible if I said to my parents, I really want to go to the actually, I'm not. I'm in another country at that time. But, okay, well, even theoretically, if I was around, it would be perfectly possible to say to my parents, oh, can we go to the Lego store and buy these sets? And with this wave, part of me does just think I need to wait. And even the January wave I didn't buy day one, the March wave I didn't buy day one either, and I've still got a few sets that I'm yet to pick up, particularly those helmets and the MIDI scale stuff. I picked up a couple of the MIDI scales, but not the Kylo Ren's one. More and more I feel like I'm voting with my wallet in terms of waiting for the 20% off minimum, probably more than that. There are a few sets that don't seem to go on sale, but I feel like this one, just for you guys who don't know, who are watching at home, who don't potentially know the price, this set here will retail for £140. And how many dollars? Lego $160. Yeah.
And for 813 pieces, it's just that's pushing it.
What I'll do is I'll get the Lego Star Wars site up in both. There we go, in both GB and USD, so I'll see. Yeah, $160, £140. It's a cool set. Like, Galactic Marines look really cool. I'll read all of your comments and talk about what you guys think in the comments in a second. I think Bakara's a really cool clone trooper. Some people say that they don't like it. I think they're personally being a bit picky. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, you can moan about waist capes, but ultimately this is the way that Lego have gone with it, and you can complain about it, but if you want your clone troopers to match, it seems to be the way that they're going. I think the Galactic Marines look amazing. I think the Bakara looks cool too. Kia Di Mundi is pretty much perfect. Potentially, my only criticism is that there should be more of them in the... because I think there's only 3, right? There's only 3 included. Which to me doesn't feel like enough for a set that's supposed to be, if I go back to the image of the inside, transporting... I mean, yeah, you can see you've already got one at the front, one there, one at the top, and you've got a missing seats there. So unless they plan to...
Is the white minifigure a Galactic Marine as well?
Which one are you talking about?
There's a white minifigure in there.
Yes, there's 3 Galactic Marines in the picture there, and then there's Kia Di Mundi.
No, there's also, they got the ones with the red torsos.
Yes, that is the Galactic Marine.
But there's also an additional one.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. You're talking about Bakara. Yes. So Bakara is the commander of them.
Bakara.
Yeah.
Is he a clone?
He is a clone. So technically, yes. No. Maybe I'm being too unfair. You've got 4 clone troopers in there. I still feel like they should have probably put one more Galactic Marine in there to make it 4, so it's kind of like you got a battle pack size. Because I doubt they're going to come out with a battle pack of these guys. It's probably unlikely that we'll see them again. So you've got one there, one at the top, one there, and then I assume those are 2 seats. Can you see behind where Kia Di Mundi is? I assume you've got one seat on where the other trooper's sitting, and then one seat directly opposite. So it looks like there's 2 empty seats there. Presuming you put Bakara in one of those, that still leaves 1 extra. So if I was going to be really picky, I would say, can you add an extra Galactic Marine, especially to justify the price? I don't know. How do you feel about the figure selection, Ed?
I mean, like I said, they look awesome, but I definitely think they should have added a little bit, especially for this price point.
Yeah.
I totally agree. 4 would have been great.
Yeah.
4 would have been great. And I don't know why 4 is just a better number.
Well, it's the battle pack size, isn't it?
Number, like having 3 Marines.
Yeah.
If you want to think of a squad of Marines, it's it's four soldiers and their squad leader.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm going to read some comments now, guys. So thank you so much for putting your contributions in. I'm not ignoring the chat. I'm going to now scroll back and go through the whole thing. So here we go. Let's see. So Green Goose says it's a tiny tank. Flowbrick says it's a horrible price. Bakara is bad. Build is whatever. So pretty damning there from Flowbricks. Green Goose says the pricing is obscene. Gamer29 says the small tank is overpriced with some good figs. The rest are shocking. Okay. Box art is cool, though. I think we can all agree that the box art looks really cool, especially the angle of the turbo tank on the box art is a really good angle. Like, in fairness to whoever is in charge of designing the box art, they were given a tiny tank to work with, and they did make it look like a cool tank on the... So,
yeah.
You know, props to them for doing that. Green Goose says, I didn't think this...
Yeah.
Huh?
Nice little battle scene.
Yeah. Green Goose says, nothing wrong with the figures, everything wrong with the build, size, and price. Interesting, so people seem to be split. Some people say that the minifigures are not great. Flowbricks particularly. I mean, Flowbricks, I know you're massively into your custom minifigures, so you may be thinking, oh, there's better companies that do them as customs. I'm a Lego purist, so I will generally not buy custom minifigures, and if there's the only way to get a Galactic Marine as a proper Lego figure is this one, I think it's a pretty good minifigure. Yeah, you can complain about the waist cape or lack of, but it's pretty good. Flowbrick says he's bought 0 sets this year because of the outrageous pricing. Gamer29 says, I'm getting the MTT just after my birthday. Your birthday is 29th of July. Well, closing in then. That's cool. And we will get to the MTT in a moment.
Yeah.
Choked on my tea then. Less pieces than the 2022 ATT. Really? That puts it into perspective because that one is £120 and $140. I think it's $140. The ATT from 2022 with Cody and the 212. And this looks and probably will be smaller. I said China. China says, Flowbrick says, I'm a wait for Mr. China to list a bunch of Marines and buy them up. What do you mean, Mr. China? What, you mean like fake? Fake or what? Yeah. Gamer says we could get Galactic Marines in the UK foil packs. That's true, but then again, it's very much with those packs, it seems to be the minifigures that they want to get rid of that they have lying around. So it always seems to be the leftovers of battle packs and sets that aren't selling particularly well. So we generally don't get... I'm not saying no, because it is they tend to put troopers in there rather than named characters. It seems that that's the way they're going. So potentially, we've got a lot of Mandalorian characters, Mandalorians and mini builds recently. I haven't got the magazine in ages. I eat at the fancy restaurant now, so I see a lot of these minifigures as flawed. Oh, I see. You're into the customs, are you? Schnackles, interesting name, welcome, says the figs are good, but the Bakara helmet looks like a Quirrell, and there are no Karmas. What is a Quirrell? I don't know what that means. Is there another shot of Bakara? I don't think so. But you can see Bakara. I mean, obviously I could go on Lego.com and find other shots, but you can see Bakara there. I think the a squirrel. Oh, a squirrel, because people say it looks like he's got like puffy cheeks. I don't really think it looks bad. Honestly, I think it looks like a squirrel. Yeah, well, if you, in my opinion, if you care about it that much, then just buy a custom, because I think this is very good. It is its own helmet, right? This is a new design. Have we seen this?
But the Bakara helmets are the helmets that have the face covering?
No, the Bakara helmet.
Which one's that?
That's the white one.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
got it.
It's a new mold, that one. So, people can complain that they don't think they got the mold right, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad mold. But you guys can obviously disagree. Schnackles obviously does. Space Force says, if you get any riots in the UK this summer, don't get caught looting the Lego store. Dear. God willing, there won't be any more riots.
We don't need
as
any more,
we saw in the UK last summer. Hopefully there won't be any more riots. Green Goose says, I plan on buying the Death Star, which better be worth the money, and the ISD this year. They're the only Star Wars sets I've got. Fair enough, honestly. I feel like a lot of people are being priced out of Lego Star Wars, which is a bit of a shame, especially buying on day one. I feel like the amount of people that do have those sets nowadays, when I look online, do tend to be the LAN members. I don't actually see that many ordinary people going out and buying the entire wave, as we used to see, which is quite interesting, I think. I don't know whether that's... I mean, it's a sign that they've risen prices. Bear in mind, there are tariff impacts to your prices in the US, particularly with some of your sets.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones. There are a few that I don't know how they work this out, but there are some that are impacted and others that aren't. So obviously not using that as an
depends on what country it's coming from.
Yeah. Like,
You know, a lot of our Lego sets come from Mexico, and I know we've been back and forth with Mexico on the tariffs.
yeah.
But
Like,
I hear Lego is trying to build a factory out here.
yes, I think they are trying to, yeah. I think, like, for example, the Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack is $23 rather than $20. It should be. That's a $3 tariff increase there. So you can find them in the wave, kind of, but because the president has been so... Today they're on, tomorrow they're off, I don't know how much of effect they would have had on this. They seem to be having a pretty poor effect on the world's markets, and the Lego group seem to be raising prices.
You don't. Just a thought. You don't want to go to the Lego website itself. They have them all up on the Lego website now.
Are you talking
Might
to me?
be easier to scroll through the pictures.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. I basically on my laptop, for some reason, the Lego website isn't showing properly. It kind of glitches, so I don't want to risk. This is it shows a couple of pictures, but this is the best thing I think, and it's got them all listed anyway, so I don't have to come out and go back into other websites. But it would have been nice. I agree. I did look into doing that first. Okay, we're moving on to the 75414 Force Burner Snowspeeder. This set right here is a cool one. I'm gonna pop on that first image. So this is essentially kind of like a Formula One car as a snowspeeder, based off Rebuild the Galaxy Season 2. I think this looks really cool. Like, Lego prices went up mainly in the USA because of tariffs. Yes, that is true. The increases in prices in the USA have been more drastic than the increases in prices in the UK. However, we have had increased prices in the UK as well, which is slightly unfair. But, you know, that is how it is. So if I go on to Lego.com, so to find the retail price, I want to say this one is $55.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Let me get back, but let's see.
$55. Yeah, I've got Lego.com US here.
Yeah, which again, pricey.
Yeah.
Pricey. It's a cool speeder. I like the concept. I really love the concept. I love the colors. It's just pricey. Even I didn't even think like $40 would have been a bit pricey, but I think around $35 would have been right. But yeah, it's a little too much.
Yeah, for those who are interested in the price comparison, the last one that they released, last Snowspeeder that Lego released was the 20th anniversary Snowspeeder, sorry, back in 2019. Now, bear in mind, this came with an exclusive Lando Calrissian minifigure as well as 3 minifigures. The retail price for that at the time was £35, and I would assume $40. So it's an increase. I suppose here the argument is that you've also got the speeder and you've got the stap to go with the snowspeeder.
Yeah, that's $20 more though.
Yeah, I reckon it's
justifies it very well.
Yeah. I reckon $50 at a push for this, because it does look fairly small, but that might be because of the windscreen piece. We've got a new windscreen piece for this set, which looks really cool. If you can just see there, I'll switch that image there. It looks really good, and I can't wait until we get an actual snowspeeder set with that windscreen piece. What does everybody think of this set? So we've got 3 minifigures included, which are Sig Griebling and Darth Dev and Solitus. So from left to right, you've got Darth Dev, Sig, and Solitus. Now, Solitus, it looks like, is the same species as Darth Plagueis, so that might be a really cool way that people can make a Darth Plagueis custom. That was my first thought when I saw this set. Gamer said the new cockpit piece could slightly justify the price increase. I suppose so, especially since it is yellow tinted. It looks like it's yellow tinted.
Yeah, I like the yellow tint. Looks really cool.
I would hope they're not prints, but new speeder cockpit is hot. Lovely build, but how much? Should be like a Speed Champ. That's true, actually. If you compare this to a Speed Champion set, which essentially offers the same thing, and this has got a few extras, $55 is way too much. The UK price for this one is I'm just scrolling through Lego.com. £45. Now that I think is slightly more reasonable, taking into account inflation. It was £35 in 2019, so a £10 increase is on the higher side. But considering inflation, I don't necessarily think that's crazy. But for the US, the price increase has been bumped up a little bit more. Oh, Soleus is a Duros. Oh, right. Oh, okay. So, sorry, I got that wrong. Plagueis is a Mun, and so he's more like Cad Bane. Okay. But the cool thing is, apparently you can take the speeder and put it inside the snow speeder, so it can come out the bottom, which is quite cool. I don't know if this site has an image of it. Oh, you can see here.
Oh, yeah, I see now.
You can see that speeder is connected at the back there. So
yeah, it's kind of hanging off the bottom of the speeder.
Yeah. And then obviously you've got the stat for Solitus. That's the size comparison. I honestly think this one's really cool. Very pleasantly surprised. I was kind of underwhelmed by a couple of the Rebuild the Galaxy sets last time around, especially the X-Wing TIE Fighter mashup. I still haven't bought that set. Probably won't end up getting it. But the Dark Falcon was a really cool one. I feel like this is on par with Dark Falcon in terms of how cool the design is. Ed, do you think you want to get this one?
Absolutely. Will I get it day one? Probably not. Probably not. It's on with these prices. It's almost too predictable to know that these prices are going to fall, especially if you wait for Target sales or find them at Costco or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
All these I told you the Duo Peridia, $55. I got it for $31.
Yeah.
Almost what it should be, right? The set. So it's just so much more enticing. As loyal as I want to be to just buying Lego on Lego.com, I'm sorry. It's just money's tight, especially because the money's tight right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even if I did have the disposable income I had before, I probably would maybe catch one or two of these on day one. But now, no, definitely not. But it's a great set. I mean, it looks like a hot rod. It looks like a Star Wars hot rod.
Yeah. It's called the Force Burner Snowspeeder, but I think a lot of people have called it Hot Rod Snowspeeder. Very cool indeed. Flowbrick says that Lego increased prices because we all started buying it at 20% off. I guess, but the 20% off is the price they want you to buy it at anyways. See, this is something that I've heard being put around, but even now, 20% off isn't tempting me the way that 20% off a couple of years ago would have tempted me, because the prices are high to begin with. So it may backfire. I think that, Lego as a company have been producing, I think, for Star Wars actually some really cool sets recently, bar the downsizing and some of the minifigure issues. Actually, if you look at the list of sets that we've got over the past few years, it's been what people have asked for. They've really started listening to the fans when you compare it to 2018, 2019, 2020 time. Yes, it may backfire though, because every year they've been sort of putting record profits. You just have to think how long until that has to come down. What goes up must come down. But who knows? This is slightly unrelated, but I know Brick earlier was wondering, why don't you build a Clone Cadet Battle Pack thing, the Solo Falcon or the Solo Train Heist thing? Great question. They're at home. Yeah. They're at home, Gamer 29. Yeah. So, as much as I'd love to build the Clone Cadet Battle Pack or the Solo Falcon or the Solo Train Heist, they're all at home. So I don't currently have anything I can build here, which is why I'm doing the, just sort of commentary live stream. The donation goal for today would be for a small set, which is the Plo Koon Starfighter, which I would be able to very easily build and display here as at my student place. It's just, I can't fit any of those bigger sets here. But it's cool that you can now look at my Lego collection. So, yeah, good for you.
Yeah, Plo Koon's microfighters a lot more reasonable.
Yes. Yeah.
Than these sets here.
Yeah. We're going to move on from this set right here. I think I've read all the comments. Will this Kickstarter Star Wars take on the Fast and Furious? I don't think it's going to be, outward that, but I reckon there'll definitely be some references in the Rebuild the Galaxy with this thing right here. Green Goose says Duel on Peridia is a great set, even full price. I feel like £10 per exclusive fig. I mean, that's definitely not what it costs Lego to produce them, but if that's the value to you, then definitely worth for you. Some downsizing is fine. IMO makes sets more detail, which I much prefer. Interesting. Yeah, fair enough. Should include a canon character variant to produce desirability, says Green Goose. That's interesting. So all of these characters included in this set are invented by Rebuild the Galaxy. So it's not like the Dark Falcon where we got White Darth Vader and Dark Rey and Beach Luke Skywalker. So I kind of agree with you there. It would have been nice. There's no way they would put a fourth minifigure in a set like this. So I guess you'd have to lose, I don't know, Darth Deb or something. But I think you can fit 2 characters in that Snowspeeder. Let's look. I don't know if they've got that in the picture. No, I would assume you can. You can usually, yeah. Look, you've got space for one person there and space for one person there. Maybe, however, that is an empty slot, so you can slot the speeder in at the back. So I think that's how it works.
The actual snow speeder shows on the Lego site. They show that one that they can fit 2.
Okay.
But I think what happens is that snow speeder comes underneath, and then it's sitting on the minifigure sitting on the snow speeder. Kind of almost looks like it's going through the snow speeder and down into the speeder bike.
Yeah, I think
but they do fit both inside the cockpit.
Yeah, which is nice. It's nice to have a set where you can fit all the minifigures inside, and Solitus has been given a stap, which is a nice, and it looks detailed. It looks quite cool. So it's nice that they've included that. I'm sure that there would have been a temptation to go, let's just scrap the stap and people might buy it anyways. The stap definitely does add some value because it is a cool design from Star Wars, seems unchanged, and actually seems better than the staps that we've seen recently. Let's move on to the UCS set that, to me, kind of came out the blue. The LEGO Star Wars 75417 ATST Walker. This is the Ultimate Collector Series set that's going to retail for £180, and I want to say $200, but I will scroll down and check.
Yeah, $200.
Yeah, $200.
$199.99.
Yeah, $200, £180. What do people think? I think it looks really cool. I don't know, however, if it's big enough to be worth that price. That's the only thing I'm curious about, is how large is this in practice? Because if it's similar to, feels like it's similar size to maybe not C-3PO, maybe Chewie or someone like that. I don't know whether I want it to be bigger, but is it to scale with the UCS 8080? Basically, this set raises loads of questions for me. I think it looks really good, though. Like, objectively, it looks awesome. So let me know what you guys think of this. We've also got a new edition of the, that's, okay. Here's the official size pick. Okay. Yeah. So it's decently sized, but it's not massive. I think this is probably because they wanted it to be to scale with the UCS 8080.
8080, yeah.
Yeah. So rather than increasing it and making it more of a, whoa, this is a big UCS set type
$800 set.
Yeah. They decided, no, let's make it. I don't know if it's quite the $200 that it is. I don't know. I'm not quite buying that.
It's a little bit under. I mean, it's a little more reasonable on the piece count.
Yeah, I agree.
1,500 pieces, 15, 13. But still a little under. You know, but it looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah,
I agree that they did a good job with it. Let you get the plaque. Definitely could have had one more minifigure in there. I think they could have had a commander and a pilot. But
yeah, true. And in the cockpit area, although it's not minifigure scale, so you wouldn't put them in, but there is space for 2, so it certainly would have made it a bit more desirable. But there seems to be. I understand why they. Actually, no. I was going to say I understand why they don't, but actually the Jango Fett's you got 2, so no real reason they couldn't do it here. What do people think of the UCS AT-ST that I really didn't see coming? Best set of the wave. Love this set. Not overpriced in my opinion. Had to be made. I'd only buy it if I had every UCS set to put it with. It's a boring grey blob on its own. Great set though. It's not a Hoth AT-ST, so shouldn't be in scale with the AT-AT. I see that argument, Gamer29, but I'm pretty sure we see AT-ATs in other places other than Hoth. So I think we see AT-ATs on Endor, certainly in Battlefront we do.
Size anyways,
yeah. And we see a variant of the AT-AT on Scarif. So I think it should be to scale. I think people would complain if it wasn't to scale. They'd be like, well, I can't display them together. Green Goose makes a good argument though, which is that it's kind of a boring grey Lego Star Wars model on its own.
Typical grey Star Wars model, yeah. Yeah,
but then you would want to display it next to it. Now, I am hoping to build the UCS AT-AT, so maybe when I finish the UCS AT-AT, I'll think, right, I need a UCS AT-ST to go next to it, and that would probably lead me to end up buying the set. So this is a set I'm looking at thinking, yeah, I'll probably end up getting this one at some point, especially to go with the UCS 8080. But I don't know if I was a Lego Star Wars collector looking at on Lego.com or whatever, and I didn't have any of these sort of larger UCS sets, this wouldn't be the first one I'd go for. I'd go for the Slave One, the Starship. Like, I think that as visually looks so much more interesting with the blue, and is a bit more iconic than the ATST. Kind of weird that they're releasing a weird that they're releasing a UCS set on August 1st, because we haven't seen that very recently, have we?
Or at least the Razor Crest. So Razor Crest got a little color to it, and still there. It's still available, right? The Razor Crest. I know it's supposed to.
Oh yeah. So yes, no, that's right. I guess when I meant like medium sized, I meant like within that price range. Razor Crest is significantly more expensive than this. You want a new UCS Imperial Shuttle? I'm sure it will happen, Green Goose, no doubt. Flowbrick says, I built the UCS 8080 3 times, anything with 80 at the start, and I'm out. Oh dear, it doesn't bode well for my building this set. I've already had to rebuild my TIE Interceptor. That set was really, really delicate for no reason, that set, the TIE Interceptor. Yeah, there seems to be a couple of these UCS sets that are certainly built for display rather than picking up. It's annoying when I have to move them from my house to my grandparents' house, because then they, die on the way. Flowbrick says, I want to touch Yabba. Yeah, that's a quote from Diego Luna that's come back to haunt him. Yeah. You've given up with the TIE Interceptor. I bagged it out, not bothering with it anymore. Really? I did rebuild it. There's a piece missing, and you know what? I cannot be asked to find where it goes. I'm like, you know what? I just put the little piece next to the TIE Interceptor. Who cares? It's there. I do not know where that piece goes. It annoys me, but I don't want to rebuild it again. Flowbricks, I don't blame you for giving up on that. Guys, please do smash the like button. We are just almost at the 45-minute mark. Please continue to like, subscribe, and if you guys would like to donate to support a small build on my channel next week, which will be my last week before going home. Yes, my last week before going home for the summer. Please do consider putting in a donation with a link in the description, and that would sort me a live stream for next week. Otherwise, I'll just skip the live stream next week and wait till I get home. Okay, Ed, any final thoughts on the ATST?
No, the only way it's gonna be, it's kind of more enticing to get day one, but the only way I'd get this day one is if it came with a gift with purchase, an exclusive gift with purchase.
Oh yeah.
Isn't the Death Star supposed to come out in August as well?
No, Death Star's October. Rumored to be in October. Yeah.
So it might be a day one if it's got a gift with purchase with it, an exclusive gift with purchase. That'll make it more enticing for me to grab.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's coming out with the August wave. I don't think it will have an exclusive Star Wars gift with purchase. Yeah, usually UCS sets either coincide with May the 4th, and May the 4th has a gift with purchase, or they're such a big set that warrants it an exclusive gift with purchase. For this one, it seems like they're just putting it out like a retail set, which is kind of disappointing. I hope that they do like a double points or something at least. That might be enough to make me go, oh, let me pull the trigger on this as we start, for double points. Otherwise, this one might be sort of a wait and see how I feel about it one. But it does look really cool. There's nothing really, I don't look at this and think, oh, there's anything about it that I don't like. It looks nice. Probably is a pain to build, though, with that Technic. Moving on, we have the cutest set of the wave, and they have the prices here. This is silly. I've been looking on the whole time. Thank you, Brick Fanatics. The cutest set of the wave, and my mum's favourite one, is Wicket the Ewok at £110, $130. Ooh, 20 and 100 and... Yeah, there you go. That's definitely a tariff increased one, because you can see the euro price is usually the same as the dollar price. And here we've got £110, 120 euros, and $130. So, what do we think about buildable Wicket here, everybody? Ed, I'll let you start because I've been talking for a while.
Love it. I love Wicket. I love the Ewoks. It definitely looks really, really good. Not like Chewbacca there. I know Chewbacca's not the best looking guy in the galaxy, but
yeah,
he looked very creepy when they built him. I don't know if it was just how they built his eyes, and it kind of looks like he has something weird going on there. But this Wicket definitely is a whole lot better. just by looking at the pictures. I mean, I love that he got the big old googly eyes in there, and the build just looks really good. So
Yeah.
this might be a day one. I think this might be the only one I'd be wanting to go out for sure and grab this one along with K2, which we'll get to in just a minute.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Love it.
I'm personally really impressed by this. I saw it and I thought, you know what, it looks really good. I think they nailed it in terms of a buildable Ewok. I guess my only criticism of this set isn't about this set. Ironically, it's that we've been getting too many, in my opinion, buildable characters versus playsets. Like the ratio of, if you look at the sets that have been released and the percentage of them that are 18 plus or buildable has gone up massively, which means that actually we tend to only get 1 or 2 play sets, or maybe 3 at a push per wave. If you look at, for example, May, we had a massively display focused wave, and the only playset that was released was the U-Wing, which is based off a series Andor, which is aimed at adults. So there's certainly more aimed at adults, but this one's actually, I think it's a 10 plus set, this one, so this is not an 18 plus display aimed thing. I think it looks really cool. I love what they've done with yeah. I love what they've done with the eyes. The eyes are a real highlight. I assume that's printed, and that looks great. Little googly eyes there. A couple of people, though, however, think he looks like he's desperate for the toilet.
It literally was just reading my mind. I literally was like waiting for you to finish. So like my only gripe, is that I would hope, I wish they would have kind of either made his legs,
slightly further apart.
Yes, just move him apart slightly, because I'm like, he does look like he's standing wanting to like hold a pee, and he's like, I gotta go.
Yes.
That's so funny they said that. I don't know who said that, but you read my mind.
Yeah, Green Goose said that.
Out of my mouth there.
Yeah. Green Goose says cutest set. Oh, apparently the UCS Gunship came out August 1st. Okay, so there was a set. That's a UCS set that came out August 1st. Thank you for correcting me there, Game 29. Yeah, you say it's the cute set if you look from the torso up. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't necessarily... right, now I can't unsee that set now. I'm just... If I get that set, you've ruined it for me. You've ruined a gorgeous set, and now I'm just going to be thinking Wicket needs the loo.
It's almost like he's doing the fancy walk, too, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Wicket, for example, you get a Wicket minifigure in this set, and that's cool, and that one doesn't look like it needs a toilet.
Right.
I wonder if that's just the angle that we've got on the box. Let me have a look at the display angle.
I'm looking at all the pictures. That's how he is.
Yeah.
It's just his legs are literally right next to each other. Like you can tell because his toes are pretty much wanting to overlap. I mean, looking at these videos on Lego. He's got to go pee.
Yeah. Well, there we go. There's the downside there. But that is Wicked.
It still looks really nice. I totally. I mean, it's a cute set. He looks really cute. Apparently his ears move too. So
yeah.
It looks cool.
It's a nice one. 1,010 pieces. So if you're a price per piece guy. I looked at this and I thought it's £10 overpriced. Maybe I'm just going overpriced. I don't think this one is massively overpriced in comparison to a couple of the others. I think if you reduced each of those prices by 10 of the respective currency, so if it was $99.99, $119, and €110, that might be that's a fair price release. I do feel like it should have been $99.99, and they pushed it. I think if they released it a couple of years ago, it would have been $99.99.
Yeah, totally agree.
But I think they think that people will just buy it anyway. One set, however, that I think people won't buy anyway is this next one. The 75431 327th Corps Clone Troopers Battle Pack. £35, $45, and $40. The $45 battle pack is here, and this is a tariff-related battle pack, because I looked at that and I thought, no, $45, £40. It is £35, so you've got Trump to thank for this extra $5 increase.
Ooh.
It's
the minifigures are something I'd like obviously want to collect, and I'm gonna look for the sale to get it. But yeah, it's insane. These are one of those insane price sets, right?
Yeah.
And I know you guys don't get it in the UK, but this is supposed to be one of the ones that's in the 2-in-1 pack.
Oh, those are supposed to be though a bit more fairly priced as well, so that you could buy them. You could get this.
Right. So it's supposed to come with the MTT, but
Cool.
I think I was watching M&R and he was saying that sometimes before when they released the mechs, the 3-pack mechs, they released the 3-pack at retail. So it's like it made no difference if you bought the 3-pack or if you bought them individually each. And he was thinking that they might do the same with this 2-in-1 with the MTT.
Oh, so that wouldn't be cheaper. So it wouldn't be cheaper.
It wouldn't be cheaper.
Well, what's the point?
Reason why it might be a little bit better is because you get the little microfighter in there.
The Millennium Falcon build. Yeah. It's just.
I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, I think I have like 3 of those from the gift with purchases this year already.
Yeah, it wouldn't convince me to buy this one retail price.
Right.
I actually showed this one to my pet. Have we got a donation? Oh no, someone just subscribed, but that's also cool. Idiot Plays has. I heard the sound and I was like, no, Idiot Plays is subscribed. Thank you so much, Idiot Plays, for subscribing. We have a thing that pops up like every time something happens. But thank you so much, man. Really welcome on into the live stream. Lovely to see you. That battle pack is way too overpriced. Yeah, that's generally the consensus here. At £35, I think it's £5 overpriced. I think in the UK it should be £30, and then that's a decently priced set. For you guys in the US, you really got the
£45.
$45 is just insane. Ridiculous. But looking at it overall, the build, the AT-RT looks nice. The Spider Droid looks cool. The Clone Troopers themselves, I think, actually do look good, and Super Battle Droids look nice. So it's not actually a bad set. I don't think it's an objectively bad set. In fact, I think this is a really cool
set. It's a horrible price.
Yeah,
it's a great set,
and it's a shame.
Horrible price.
It's a shame because I think this could have been like the most popular set that everyone wanted to go out and that would sell like hotcakes if it was priced appropriately. A bit like the Fiverr First Battle Pack. Like if you think about it, the Fiverr First Battle Pack was $30 and £25 when it came out back in August of 2020.
Those days.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much the same sort of thing. Like you had a AT-RT and a speeder and 4 clones, and you didn't get super battle droids, so you had a couple of battle droids. So I guess they've added an extra super battle droid, but certainly shouldn't equate to $15 more. It's a really cool battle pack. I do definitely want to get one of these. I love the one thing we haven't spoken about is the new the pauldron piece. Is it the Karma or whatever it's called on the shoulders? Yeah. Brand new piece. Looks fantastic. Color looks really good. Like that's great.
And it's definitely going to last longer than a cloth piece.
Yeah.
So I think they did a great job with that for sure.
Yeah. Green Goose says, cool set, but it needs that chunk of Felucia. Have you seen, so the original release of this set, or the original leak of this set, had a leaked image that featured a tiny little bush, basically, and a little Bacta thing. And I remember when it came out, when the leak came out, people, including me, were saying, oh, this is clearly, they know this set's overpriced. They're just shoving in something to make it look more worth it. So Lego clearly saw that and went, actually, you know what? People don't like it, so let's just take it out anyway. Rather than thinking, oh, actually, maybe it's overpriced, they thought, oh, people don't like that bush. So now we've got the worst of both worlds. We don't have our bush, and we don't have the price decrease. So, yeah.
No bush. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't. Felucia Land versus the Lamppost. Oh, yeah, in the Keller and Beck speeder set, do you know there's a little lamppost included in that set as well?
Yeah.
Very much like, oh, this set is too much. Let's just put in a lamppost. Yeah, Florix, well observed there. It's a really cool set. I really like this one. I don't buy into the clone troopers aren't good. I actually really like these clone troopers. I think they look great. I love the new pauldron piece. I love the super battle droids. Solid set. Just costs too much, especially for the US. For the UK, it's £5 overpriced, which is sort of, but
this little light post right here.
Oh yeah,
we're missing it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you could have added a light post, huh?
Yeah. But overall, I actually really
$12.99 by the way. $12.99.
$12.99 you got that for?
$12.99.
Wow. Yeah, I don't blame that. I don't blame you. There, very nice. Flowbreak says I can list 10 things wrong with them that doesn't involve karmas or helmet holes. Well, we're going to move on to the next set because we haven't quite got all day and I can't stay around for ages. But you put them in the chat and I will read them afterwards. I personally don't think that they're that bad. Ed, do you quite like the Clone Troopers as well?
No, I mean, I quite like them. I like the color schemes. You know, they're fairly detailed. I don't know how they are in their accuracy, so it doesn't bug me if there was some kind of inaccuracy to it. So I'm looking forward to grabbing them. Just looking forward to grabbing them at a discount.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'd agree with you. Moving on to our next set is the 75432 V19 Torrent Starfighter, which I think is a really solid set of this wave. So it includes 567 pieces. So the price per piece, people, sort of on it in terms of the UK pricing. The US pricing doesn't have a tariff increase here. You can tell. I don't really know how they work this out because you can see. Sorry, if I just go back, 35 pounds and $45, right? So that's a £10 increase. But then if you go down here, you've got £60 and $65, and the dollar price is the same as the euro price. So is there something in the material that means it's tariff, or did they just think that Americans would pay more for clone troopers? I don't know which one it is, but there's an extra $5 that doesn't make sense here. And here as well, you've got an extra 10, but this one is probably the most fair priced US set here because it's the same as the euro. Now, granted, Trump has crashed the dollar, so actually I'd say UK prices, if we bought it for $65, let me just put it in my calculator, we are actually not getting a great deal. So if I put GDP to USD.
Yeah, we've been graded. Our grade has been downgraded to like an A-, I think.
Yeah. So if I 60,
first time in like I don't know, in history maybe. So yeah, winning for sure, winning there.
Yeah. So here we go. $65 should actually be £47, and it's £59 in terms of here. So you can see, obviously, you guys have to pay tax on top of that. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's still taxes on top of the 64, which will probably come out to about another $6. So
Okay.
you're looking to pay over $70 for this.
Yeah. Okay. So if I put $70 here, £51. Our prices include taxes, so there's still a £5 discrepancy. Usually at times like this, I would write to Lego on customer service and be like, Lego, you're not giving, but they wouldn't have known that Trump was going to crash the dollar when they priced these sets. So. You know, in fairness to them, I'm not complaining about the GDP USD ratio. I did when it came to the UCS 80, and I actually won that battle. But here, do you remember that, Ed?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I wrote to customer service. They said we're going to pass it on, and a week later, press release from Lego saying actually we're going to lower the price. So, could be me, guys.
You got to take credit for that one.
I do, fully. So the V19 Torrent Starfighter, I mean, the highlight here is these gorgeous minifigures. Like, 10 out of 10, smashed it out the park, incredible minifigure selection. Obi-Wan Kenobi
looks cool,
with printed arms, with his General Kenobi outfit from the Clone Wars. Amazing. Clone Pilot with a brand new dual-molded helmet, which looks fantastic. And a Sarge Ventress for the first time since 2018? Maybe I've got that wrong, guys. You can correct me. But it was a old Clone Wars set. And looks really, really good. And a new outfit that we haven't seen before. This is a really fine-looking minifigure selection. What do you think, Ed, about the minifigs?
Doesn't agree that the Ventress looks good. It's his good set, bad Ventress.
What? What's wrong with Ventress?
You know, I'm looking at it, and I don't know why it seems like there's something missing, but maybe it's more accurate than I remember. She doesn't have anything in her arms that would warrant some arm printing. But that's the only thing that seems a little bare to me. But other than that, I mean, it looks great.
Yeah, generally from the Clone Wars, Ventress would sort of wear like tank top outfits, so her arms were. I don't remember her ever wearing anything that would have required arm print. But BlocksBricks says it should be dark blue and not dark purple. I don't know. I don't know what this is based off. So again, I'm going from like nothing here, but it's an objectively cool looking minifigure. I've seen the Clone Wars. It looks like a Sarge Ventress. I honestly don't care. In fact, I think purple's cooler than dark blue in terms of. I'd rather. Are you gonna look it up? See Ventress and purple.
Yeah, I'm looking her up right now. So.
Yeah.
No, I seen her from the Clone Wars. It's purple.
Okay.
Yeah, it's purple.
Yeah.
He's wearing purple.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's the first images that came up for me on Google. So
Yeah. All right. Well, it seems like BlocksBricks has found something that matches. Maybe not based off the scene you're talking about, Flowbricks. Perhaps you're mentioning when she fights Kenobi, in which case then maybe she was wearing a different outfit.
I can see why he says blue though, because that's in some lights, like in some of the pictures, you see that it kind of looks like a bluish, more like a bluish color. But in a bright light, like when she's in this battle scene that I'm looking at, it's clearly purple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. But yeah, you're right. I can see why some of these images would look like she's wearing blue. But a lot of the fight scenes and like the Black Series Asajj Ventress, she's in purple. And I'm looking at this Black Series. This is what makes me want to say that she should have had something in her arms. In the Black Series, she has like this blue wrap. She has purple sleeves up to here, just above her elbow, and then from her elbow down to her sleeve, she has this like blue wrap.
I see.
So it looks cooler. Obviously, actually, it looks really nice, man.
Yeah.
The Black Series one. So
yeah, I'm looking at that now.
The only
yeah.
thing is like I kind of felt like the sleeves were missing something, and
Okay.
according to the Black Series picture, there is definitely, and even in the Clone Wars, she's wearing some type of sleeve.
Yes. Okay. I accept I was wrong on that front. So you've watched Clone Wars more recently than me. You're only watching it now, so I haven't watched it.
I have seen her. I've seen the episodes with her. Yeah. I don't quite remember what she's wearing though. That's why I had to look it up.
Yeah. No. Fair point. Fair point. Footprinting though is nice on all of those minifigures. Like generally, I'd say for me this is a 10 out of 10 minifigure selection. Maybe for you, Ed, slightly less, but still good. Flowbricks really doesn't like that Ventress. It seems.
I still like it.
Yeah, this is a really nice looking set. Now, the downside is the downscaling. Now, the best angle of the set I've seen is this one, which has it in flight mode, which doesn't make scaling look that bad of an issue because it's in flight mode, it looks great, and that's the way that it's displayed on the box. However, unless you have the facility to levitate your Lego sets or buy a stand, you're going to have to display it like that. And this is where it looks...
Very cool.
This is where it looks kind of MIDI scale. This is where a lot of people have said that actually those wings should be longer. And I do agree. I think from seeing the V19 Torrent, what they've done is they've downscaled it. Fine. I don't think it's a bad set. And actually this is one that I really do want to get. I just think that those wings do look too short. And for the sake of adding some pieces to make them look slightly longer, I don't know why they didn't make them slightly longer. I mean, they wanted to keep the price down, I suppose. But, yeah, we've got a really cool set, though, in that V19 Torrent, especially in its flight mode. I imagine there'll be some really cool display cases coming out so that people can display it how it looks best. It's really good, but the highlight for me has to be those really cool-looking minifigures. And, of course, General Kenobi goes very well with Anakin and Ahsoka from the Ahsoka Starfighter. So what we've got is an Ahsoka Starfighter with Anakin, Ahsoka's droid, and now a companion set with Kenobi, a pilot, and a Ventress. Is like going back to Clone Wars, years. If this came out in 2020, I think people would be all over it. I'm
still waiting for that Ahsoka set to go on sale. I seen it at Target the other day. While a lot of their sets were like on clearance, 50% off.
Yeah.
Ahsoka set still at retail. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. I'm holding off on that. No, I'm not. Not the Ahsoka one. I was thinking of the Battle Pack. No. Yes. Ahsoka Starfighter, really cool. I did get that one on sale. But now we've got a companion set for it, which is great. So if you own the Ahsoka Starfighter, which I think is a gorgeous looking set, but just slightly overpriced, I got it on sale. You should get this one, I think. Really, really good. This is like a 9 out of 10 set for me. Probably, so far, my favorite set of the wave, I'd say. Out of all of them that I've seen so far, I think this one is my favorite. But we're going to keep going.
Okay.
We're going to keep going. Guys, please do smash the like button. We've just passed the hour mark. Remember to subscribe. If you guys would consider donating, there is a link in the description. My channel is a fan-funded project, so if you guys do want to support me, please consider using the link in the description. Obviously, totally optional. Totally understand that in the economy, it's totally understandable that people can't always donate. But if you would like to, please consider doing so. It's a massive help to me and means I can continue to do live streams for you. Okay, moving on, we have Jango Fett's Starship, which is a cool looking... Oh, it hasn't got the box art. That's a shame. Lego 75433. Hang on. For this one, I do actually want to get it up on
Lego.
Yeah, because I actually think the box art is really cool on this one. Let's share, stop screen that one, and then I'm going to present, and then I'm going to present share screen. I'm going to present there. There we go. Okay. Jango Fett Starship. So, really cool, actually. This one really surprised me. Now, what we want to do is obviously compare the pricing is another. I think that's the big thing that I'm taking away from this wave. Good sets. Some of them are great minifigures, good sets, bad pricing. I don't know if this one's massively overpriced, but if I look at the Boba Fett's one, how much was that one when that came out?
I think it was around 65 too. I mean, I don't think this one is overly more expensive than the Boba Fett one. Wasn't it 65?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it was $59.
No. It was $50 and $50.45 when the Boba Fett one came out, which is essentially exactly the same as this set, plus a Kaminoan minifigure. They've got a stand in here, of course. So what we've had is essentially for the UK a £15 increase, and for the US, how much is this one in the US?
69. Yeah.
$70.
$70 pretty much.
Yeah, and so we've had a £15 increase.
Although
and you
the
got
price per piece count is kind of there. It's at 707 pieces, so
yeah,
it seems a little more fair than all the other sets that we're looking at here.
But
if you want to compare it to the Boba Fett, then now you're making me think like, suckers.
Interesting though, the Boba Fett one only had just under 600 pieces, so they have added pieces. I'm interested to see. I think that set should be compared. I think the first port of call in terms of valuing this set should be to compare it to the Boba Fett's, because I don't think there've ever been two Lego Star Wars sets that are so similar to each other in such a short period of time. It's pretty much a color copied, slightly adjusted version of the set that we saw a few years ago with some new minifigures. Obviously, new minifigure in Lama Su, who has an amazing mold. Cool. Like, this looks amazing. So much so that I own the UCS Slave 1. I'm now thinking I need to get this one as well. I may just bricklink the Lama Su minifigure. I probably might do that. But really, really good looking minifigure, and this is a solid set. I love that it comes with the cart as well, because you can display it. So for people who can't afford the big UCS display set, you still have somewhat of a displayable Slave 1, but this one's also playable, and I assume it's got the stand at the back that you can swoosh it around with. I don't know if that shows it. Yeah, there you go, swooshing it around with the holder. Sorry, you got the seismic charges there. Sorry, jumping from thing to thing, and that's how it looks on the stand at the bottom. Really good, this one. I think it's we've seen in the UK, as I've said, a £15 and then a $20 price increase. So again, bordering overpriced, but I don't think this one is massively overpriced. I think it's £5 overpriced at most, but generally I'm not, price isn't such a big problem for me with this one. I think it's a really cool set. Ed, what do you think?
Agree. It's just when you want to compare apples to apples, it makes it hard when you have the Boba Fett. But like you pointed out, that was like 100 pieces less, so it can justify the price a little bit better. So I don't think it's overly priced, but a great set, great looking set, and the minifigures are obviously really good. So I definitely want to pick this one up sooner than later. I definitely like the Kaminoan. I don't know what it is about the dress and everything. It just looks really cool. Aside from having a really cool head mold.
I think it's the continuous printing. It's when we've got these dress pieces, the whole torso goes into the dress so well. A bit like we saw with the Emperor Palpatine that I unboxed yesterday. Like these minifigures that have got those dresses, particularly for Lego Star Wars when they're like robes, they do look really cool for some reason. So BlocksBricks says 700 pieces for £60 plus one more fig and 100 more pieces. It's a good price. Fair enough. You know what? I don't think this one is. I'm hesitant to say it's fair. You know what? Fine. It's a fairly priced set. I don't think this is a great price set, but I think this is fairly priced. This is not an overpriced set. It looks really cool though. I'm very happy with this one. And as someone, they've successfully convinced me as someone who went out and bought the Slave 1 in May to go out and buy another Slave 1 with this one. Let's go now to... By the way, we've only got 2 people watching, which is really depressing. So where is everybody? I don't know.
Everyone left.
Yeah. Every Lego Star Wars set officially revealed. There we go. Let's go back here. Moving on, we have what I think is a really, really good set. K2SO, which my mum described as a stick, and my dad wasn't particularly impressed by this one either, which is strange. I thought this was really, really cool.
I mean, have they seen Rogue One? Have they seen Rogue? Have they seen?
They would have seen Rogue One. My mum not recently. My dad would know who this is, but they haven't watched Andor either. So maybe okay. When my dad watches Andor with me over the summer, he'll change his mind.
Understand why?
Yeah. I think this looks great. It kind of has that era of Technic, but not quite Technic look to it. It does look thin, but K2SO, it's so accurate to how he looks.
It's so accurate to how he is.
Yeah. So you can't even complain, oh, it's very thin. It's like a stick, which is what my mum said. But I'm like, yeah, but that is how he is. You know, you can't change the way he looks. It's accurate, and you've got the nice base and the
He's a slim fit for sure.
Yeah, and the minifigure, and a really, really good price. $90, £80, and somehow, oh yeah, €90 as well. So I think this is a set that I think is very fairly priced. Actually, I'd say it's a great price that you should probably. This is probably a day one. Out of all of these so far, this is the one I'm thinking, yeah, I'd be convinced to pay for this day one.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
I agree. This is the one I've been wanting and I've been waiting for. $90 here, so I mean, it's not too overly priced. It's one of my most favorite droids. Even though I keep forgetting his name sometimes. It's like R2 and then K2SO. Like I always say, he's my second favorite droid in the universe, just because of his character. He's funny as heck. He's witty.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I think it looks good. And it's gonna go well on display.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. It looks very accurate. I've heard some people complain about the eyes, but you know what? I think what they did was really clever, which I think is using like Technic pins, I think, for the eyes. Really good. Honestly, if you're a fan of Rogue One or Andor, this is a must-have set. I think £80 is a great price for it. Lego, thank you so much. You showed us that you can do really good prices for Lego Star Wars sets. So I don't know how they managed to, the price increase team weren't there when they put this one. There was no. Maybe there's one like really annoying guy who's like, actually, we could probably charge more. Maybe he had his day off when they were looking at this set here, and they actually gave it a really good price. Very impressed with this, honestly. Like. If I don't know who was in charge of pricing this set, but I want them.
I know you got that one greedy mofo.
Yeah, well, one of them. I don't know who it is.
On the board right there, he's like, no, you can charge more for this.
Yeah,
more,
because you know what? If this, dare I say that if this was £10 more, $10 more, I think we would all still say it was a really cool looking set for $100. And £90.
Brit.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. So it's kind of like a discounted price in my head already. Really, really good. I'm very impressed with this. Moving on. So that's the first one I've actually gone. Actually, you know what? That's probably should be a day one. We have 75345. Sorry, I can't read. 75435 Battle of Felucia, which MTT. £140, $160, €150. Let's take a look at this set here, and we'll discuss whether this one. I mean, this is a really good looking MTT. We've got to admit, this looks really nice.
It looks so good. I think that's why they decided to just really go cowboy on it and just like rob us blind of pricing. Like $160. Like maybe 120, but I think it easily could have fell into a $100 set.
Yeah.
But 160 is just like, oh.
Well, you say $100 set. I mean, 976 pieces is the piece count for this. 976. Yeah. So if you did price per piece, right. Even a $100 set would be slightly above the price per piece ratio. I mean, I'm not a massive price per piece person because I think there are some sets that have a really poor price per piece but are actually really worth it. So price per piece is by no means the best thing, but in this case, I think it's very relevant. You've got less than 1,000 pieces, and they're charging US fans 160. and 140 here in the UK, which I think again should really be 120.
120. Yeah.
£120, $130. I think it should have been the fair price, and instead they kind of went crazy on this. But like, putting price to one side, if this was the price that we wanted it to be, this is a really good looking, like, modern MTT. I'm really impressed with this.
And it's the first MTT, so I'm looking forward to grabbing it. But like I said, it's the price that's drawing me away and making me think that I'm just gonna have to wait for the tune. Hopefully, the tune ones are a little bit cheaper and give us some bit of a discount.
Yeah.
But I definitely can't say I can justify the price and go and buy it day one for sure.
Yeah, I probably won't get this day one, but I definitely do want to get this at some point. I mean, what we've got is a really cool. Obviously, doesn't have it in the pictures here, but you've got room in the insides. However, it is slightly downscaled, and one of the battle droids has to lie down to fit inside. No! I hate it when that happens, and I was really annoyed when I saw the picture of the battle droid, like, basically lying down. And there's no way he can pilot it like that, but that's how it works. The rack, however, of the battle droids looks really cool. It looks like you can hold 6 battle droids in there. How many battle droids are included in this set?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular, and then 1 commander.
Yeah, you know what? That's a fair amount. And you've got 3 commando droids as well. A few people were complaining that they are gunmetal grey, the commander droids. I think that's fine because it is based off. It's based off something. I can't think where it is, but it is based off something. A good amount of droids, and it's really cool that they brought back the commando droid for this. Like, they didn't need to. They could have just included loads of battle droids, but instead they've included extra droids, which is cool. If I were to be really picky, I would say that this is a missed opportunity to get one of those tactical droids from the Clone Wars. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
That once was once in Lego and hasn't been for quite a few years. So this is kind of a missed opportunity to do that, but you know, I think that's just being picky. Commander Bly looks really cool as well, and this is a great companion with that 327th battle pack. So very much works with the 2-in-1 if it's a good price. Unfortunately, though, if you combine the Battle of Felucia Separatist MTT here and the 327 battle pack, it would set you back. Hang on, let me do the maths. How much would it set you back if you bought both of those sets on day one?
Welcome, Ric Flair. Good to see you, buddy. We're doing
welcome,
fine.
Ric Flair.
We're reviewing all these new releases coming out in August.
35.
Giving our critique.
So it would set you. It would set you back. It would set you back. So let's do this. If you were to buy the MTT and the 327th battle pack, it would set you back £175 on day one. Or this is where it stings for the Americans, but £175 is still a lot for what you're getting here. For the Americans, it would set you back
$205.
$205, which is insane. BlocksBricks thinks that a brown MTT with Jar Jar would have been good. Yeah, no, this is so much better. They've never done a big Clone Wars MTT before, so this needed to be done. I get why you want a brown MTT because they do look cool, but I actually think, especially since we've got
I kind of wish I'm on with BlocksBricks too.
Are you really?
I really would have liked to see a brown one too. That's because I that's the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
I just now started watching the Clone Wars, and I don't think I've seen this one yet. I'm still like in season 2, so I don't remember it as much, and it doesn't really sit with me like the brown one does from episode 1.
Yeah,
I guess that's why I would want to see it, but it looks good. It looks good, and if it's accurate to its the Clone Wars era, then I don't see no gripes with it. But I'm just more excited to have another commander, Commander Bly, and that's gonna be my first. What was his name? Ayla or something like that.
Ayla Secura, yeah.
Ayla Secura, yeah.
Yeah. We are going to wrap things up because I have got to go soon. So we're going to finish here. But what we are going to finish with is our favorite one of these sets. So we're going to do favorite and best value. Okay. So we've got, just to recap for everybody, we've got the Battle of Felucia Separatist MTT. We've got K2SO. We have got Jango Fett's Starship. We have got the V-19 Torrent Starfighter. We've got the 327th Star Corps Battle Pack. Wicket.
Wicket.
The UCS ATST Walker. The Force Burner Snowspeeder. So it's a big wave, this one. And the Republic Juggernaut. Oh, is there one more? No, that's all of them. So, I think best value, K2SO, 1,000,000%. Fantastic set,
100%.
especially with Andor having just come out season 2. No reason
100%.
why we shouldn't be. And it's like day one price in terms of like fantastic. Favorite, I might go with the V19. I think that looks really cool, especially the minifigures. And that as a Clone Wars set, I think it's going to go really nicely with the ARC 170 and the Ahsoka's Starfighter. I'm also a big fan of the MTT, but the price is just a no-go for me. So, Ed, what do you think? Best value and favorite?
Best value is definitely 100% K2.
Yeah.
K2, and then the close second would be Wicked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wicket
for
is
sure. My favorite play scale one would be the Juggernaut.
Really?
Just
Yeah.
because I don't have a turbo tank, I would definitely love it. I think the price point, if I were to not think about the price, I love the Galactic Marines. They look really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
So there's some great minifigures there. So I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, again, I agree. The Republic Juggernaut does look really cool. It's not quite as overpriced as that MTT's 139.60. Oh no, it is. Sorry, I take that back. Yeah, this one's 813 pieces for $160, which is just insane. Sorry, I totally take that back. In fact, that's probably more if you're doing price per piece. But yeah, at least that one's nearly a Sorry, I take it. Both of those sets are crazy overpriced, but. We've now gone through the whole wave. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in today. It's been a great live stream. Smash the like button and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.